whistle.
My name is Jahnie van Zyl, and my entire existence revolves around one ultimate dream: becoming a Grand Slam champion. So my older sister, Louise, she started playing tennis, and I think I was around 5 years old, and I kind of just followed in her footsteps, and since I stepped on the court, I just fell in love with the sport. I think the challenges I faced in my early career was traveling from a young age and being away from home was a bit difficult because I was like 13 years old and not seeing my sisters, my family, and we were really close, so it was a bit difficult. And also schoolwork. I was traveling a lot, and trying to balance schoolwork and tennis was really difficult. But since I've started homeschooling this year, it's been much easier to balance tennis and academics. I think my inspiration was my older sister, Louise, how she portrays herself as a person and a tennis player. I've really looked up to her. And also Rina Sabalenka. She's a really aggressive player, and I try to strive to that aggressiveness on the court. A breakthrough in my career was early July. I played against Isabella Creer, one of South Africa's top women's tennis players. I won that match, and I think that gave me so much confidence to go forward in my tennis career. So I start the day off, maybe wake up at 6, maybe 6:30, make breakfast, get ready, and then a tennis squad from 8 to 10. From 11 to 1, a conditioning/gym session. Go. And then also from 3 to 5, a tennis lesson as well. My favorite shots on the tennis court is probably going to be my backhand or forehand angle. I enjoy playing that shot a lot, getting behind the ball, ripping the ball up, and this is a really nice shot to play for me. My most memorable tennis match was probably against Isabella Creer and also a top 350 WTA player, Kabash Awad. Those two matches has really pushed me and just boosted my confidence a lot. My support structure has just been amazing. My mom, my dad, and my sisters, they've sacrificed a lot for me. My coaches and all my academy players, they've supported me in all the ways possible. I just love them all.
Hi, I'm Rian Venter from Rian Venter Tennis Academy. I'm the head coach here in Potchefstroom. Jahnie, I've known 8 years. I've been coaching Jahnie for 8 years since she was 7 years old. Jahnie's tenacity is something that's standing out. You know, she's still very young, but she's afraid of nothing. She will step onto a court and she will face the biggest name in tennis, and she will compete. So her tenacity, her fighting spirit is something that really makes Jahnie the player that she is today.
Hi, it's Robbie Koenig here, former tennis professional for 13 years now, international TV commentator, and just my thoughts on Jahnie van Zyl. Listen, I've been around the sport for the last 30 years, and I've watched players compete at the very sharp end for a good portion of that time, and I always use that phrase: your attitude determines your altitude in life. And it's the attitude of Jahnie, I think, that really stands out. She's got an incredible work ethic, and I think the ability to concentrate as easily as she does, it's something you can't really teach. And athletic ability is what sets her apart from so many of the other girls that she competes against.
You know what makes Jahnie special, is physically she's quite tall. She's 1.75 meters tall. She is as fast as a 100-meter athlete. She was a very good track and field athlete. She is very strong, so that is something that is very scarce, when you, in tennis, where you get somebody that's that tall and that fast. And normally when you've got that combination, you get somebody that can really compete, on the international stage. Worldwide, I don't think people realize how strong and how big the professional women tennis players are. And she is really in that category that, if she develops further, that she will match them physically.
I'm Lizanne Enslin, and I'm one of Jahnie's biokineticists here at the Centre of Health and Human Performance. Jahnie is an up-and-coming star, so dedicated, ready for action, ready to receive instruction. She's just really one in a million. It's just absolutely a pleasure working with her. Receives instruction, listen to what we have to say, and incorporates it. On days that she is less motivated or not keen to do as intense workout, she's here for recovery. She's here to put in the work, do the things that needs to be done to improve herself. On a global scale, I think she'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with. Not in the far future, but in the near future.
Now, if you look at current world rankings of professional players, they're all from Europe, and Europe is dominant in 95% clay courts. And there's a reason for why they are dominating. A clay court just teaches you so many things which you as a coach can't teach. So for Jahnie to be able, for the last 2 years to grow up on these, clay courts, and we do use them quite a lot. A clay court for me is the absolute must for any junior player, and specifically, as I say, for Jahnie, if she wants to one day, be a star on the world stage.
These days in this sport, the best players are the best athletes, without a doubt. Top men, top women, it's pretty easy to see. So those two areas, both mentally and physically, she really separates herself from the rest of the pack. And we know she knows how to hit forehands and backhands. And it's obviously going to only get better as she travels more and gets involved with practicing and playing against better players wherever she decides to go to in the world. But those two things, her mentality and her physicality, and of course, she's been able to get a lot of help from her dad, who was a top athlete back in the day. So from that side, the grounding is so good. The fast twitch muscle fibers are really been worked from a young age. So it's such a great foundation that's been laid. So anybody that wants to go on that journey with her, it's good to know that those fundamentals are in place. So the building blocks thereafter are so much easier to build a proper game behind. So for all those that are going to go on the journey with her, you're onto a good thing here, and enjoy the ride, because it's a lot of fun.
It's because of our location in the south of Africa. Tournaments are being played all around the world, but obviously most tournaments in Europe, in the United States, and then obviously in the East, China. That's where a lot of the tournaments take place, especially the ones that Jahnie now needs to play, because he's outgrown the circuit, African circuit. And that becomes very expensive. Flights from South Africa to Europe and to the States are very, very expensive. So we will have to, get some funding for her to carry on and to be able to next year go and compete in the Grand Slams, because that is our ultimate goal, as that next year that she competes in the 4 Grand Slams, Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, and American Open as a junior at the age of 15. Where do I see Jahnie in the next 3-4 years? She's surprising us every year, every 6 months. She's achieving things which we don't think was possible. I honestly believe that Jahnie, if she keeps working hard and she really works hard for it, harder than anyone, that she will win a junior Grand Slam. She's got all the attributes to be a top 10 women's player, in the world.